Ever wondered about paradise? How old will we be? Will we be with our loved ones? And what about our Creator? On the night of Ascension, the Prophet Muhammad witnessed paradise and described it in incredible detail. Get ready for answers that will send chills down your spine. Let's begin. Let's imagine, by Allah's grace, you are among those who have earned the right to enter paradise. That great day has arrived. You are at the gates of paradise, and that magnificent life of eternal peace is just a few steps away. But first, to purify you entirely from worldly impurities, you will be washed in a special river right before entry. Its water will strip away all human weaknesses and flaws from your very being. The hair on your body will be gone. You will be free from beards, mustaches, and all other body hair. You are now partially ready for entry. I say partially because a few more steps remain. Similarly, you will drink abundantly from a spring prepared for you. Now purified inside and out and possessing the qualities to live in paradise, you will approach the gatekeeper angel, Rizwan, who awaits you. By the way, speaking of gates, know that paradise has 8 different gates, and which one you enter through depends on your deeds in worldly life. Each gate has a name, and on each you will see the same inscription: La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Those who entered through the Salat gate are those who were constant in their prayers. Another is the Jihad gate for those who strived in Allah's cause. Those who fasted regularly will enter through the Rayyan gate. Those who were charitable will enter through the Sadaqah gate. The remaining 4 gates are for those who pardon others, those who remember Allah often, and more. Don't imagine these gates as ordinary doors. Their size and form are beyond human comprehension. Visuals here are just representations. Now, if everyone is ready at their gate, it's time to enter. Wait a second. You feel quite different. This is completely normal. Soon you notice something astonishing. Everyone you see is the same age. Yes, in paradise, everyone's appearance and body will be that of a beautiful 33 years old, as narrated. You heard right. Your parents, grandparents, everyone will appear to you at this same perfect age. The case is slightly different for children who passed away young. They will remain in an eternal, most preferable, childlike state in paradise, forever happy and peaceful, without growing or aging. They will likely be reunited with their parents, bringing immense joy, as cheerful children are one of life's greatest spiritual pleasures. These children will be a beautiful addition to paradise. And finally, we have set foot in paradise, our new home. That world of conflict, injustice, and hurt is now in the past. We have returned to the place we were first created. The scene before our eyes and the indescribably beautiful scents filling the air leave us in utter awe. Everywhere is adorned with palaces, mansions, trees, rivers, and countless blessings, a realm without end. We are clothed in special garments of paradise, made of green, light silk, and heavy embroidered satin, consisting of 70 layers, each with different colors. A festive atmosphere of celebration surrounds us. Countless attendants are ready to serve us everywhere. We are amazed, wondering, what do we do? Where do we go? At that moment, in a grand ceremony, a ram is brought to a point visible from both paradise and hell. But this ram is unlike any other. It is not a ram. Its name is Death. A voice calls out, "O people of paradise, do you know who this is?" The people of paradise look up and reply, "Yes, this is Death." Then, "O people of the fire, do you know who this is?" They also look up and say, "Yes, this is Death." The command is given and the ram's throat is slit. death is killed. A proclamation follows. O people of paradise, eternity is now yours. There is no more death. O people of the fire, eternity is now yours. There is no more death. Yes, death is no more. You will never be sick. You will live forever, always young, always in a state of blessing. You will forget what sorrow and worry even were. For the people of paradise, it is a time of eternal blessings, happiness, and peace. What will we eat and drink in paradise? The first thing we will eat upon entering is the liver of a whale. After eating it, we will never feel hunger again. The act of eating and drinking for survival, a necessity in the world, will not exist in paradise. We will eat purely for pleasure, and the tastes and scents of these infinite blessings will provide a pleasure greater than anything ever felt. After that whale liver, eating will simply be an act of joy. Although we can eat unlimited food whenever we wish, we will have no need for toilets. Even with what we've been told, we try to understand paradise. But it is a place far beyond the limits of our imagination. Our human minds have a capacity, just like a cat can recognize its food and owner, but could never understand what a television is or how it works. We, the children of Adam, also have a limit to our understanding. While we try to comprehend the afterlife, our ability to perceive the essence of Allah, the angels, and many unknowns is insufficient. But the good news is, in paradise, we will experience a different enlightenment. Our minds will be upgraded, the veil over our eyes will be lifted, and we will perceive things at a much higher level. For instance, our brains currently operate on dualities: right, wrong, beautiful, ugly, sadness, happiness. In paradise, some of these will be completely removed from our minds, and we will experience different realities. For example, Allah the Almighty will completely erase the feelings of sadness, grief, and pain from our beings. We will forget these feelings ever existed. In paradise, there will be no unhappiness or sorrow, somewhat like the characteristic of angels, who do not feel sadness, but exist in a state of joy. We humans will be in a constant state of happiness, joy, and peace. This might sound like it could become boring after a while. You might think it strange to be constantly happy. But remember, we are thinking with our worldly perceptions. In paradise, there will also be no feeling of pain, because pain in this world serves as a warning of danger or injury. Without it, we might not notice wounds and could die. Since there is no death in paradise, the feeling of pain is unnecessary and will be taken from us. In this paradise we find ourselves in, whichever mansion we wish to live in, wherever we want to reside, will journey to us. Notice I said this paradise, because paradise itself has many layers and degrees. Only Allah knows best who will reside in which layer and attain which degree. Some of these layers are higher and more sublime, and they even have names. The highest of them is Firdaus al-A'la. The Prophet Muhammad said in a hadith, "When you ask Allah for paradise, ask Him for Firdaus." The lowest level of paradise for the weakest believer is the size of 10 worlds. When those in lower levels look up to see the mansions of those in higher levels, the distance will be so vast that they will see them like stars in the sky from our world. We slowly begin to adapt to life in paradise. We settle where we wish. Whichever fruit we desire, the branches of its tree bend before us. When we pick a fruit, another instantly grows in its place. Immortal, youthful servants surround us, dedicated to our service. When we look at them, they appear like scattered pearls. Wherever we look, there is indescribable splendor, and boundless blessing. The Houris, mentioned in the Quran, are another remarkable aspect. Created specially for those who were patient and avoided sin, these pure beings, untouched by any human or jinn before their husbands, are so exquisite that if one of them were to spit into any sea on earth, all the oceans and seas would turn from salt water to sweet water. In paradise, no one will feel dissatisfied about anything, and jealousy cannot enter. What about animals? Will there be animals in paradise? All animals that ever lived will be resurrected on the day of judgment, settle their rights with each other, and then return to dust. However, certain special animals, like the prophet's she-camel, the dog of the companions of the cave, Ashab al-Kahf, the she-camel of Prophet Salih, as that was killed, the ant of Prophet Sulaiman, as will enter the eternal abode, paradise. There will be no harsh weather phenomena in paradise like in this world, as understood from the Quranic verse, wherein they will be exposed to neither burning sun nor bitter cold, 76:13. We will live in a climate that never discomforts us. Sleep, to which we devote a third of our lives here, will not exist in paradise. Yes, we will never sleep there. Our prophet said, "Sleep is the brother of death." In a place with no death, we will not spend time sleeping. We will live forever so fully engaged that we will constantly discover new pursuits and beauties, never repeating the same thing twice. Undoubtedly, the greatest blessing of paradise will be seeing our Supreme Creator, Allah the Almighty. In this world, it is impossible for us to see Him with our worldly eyes. But in paradise, the veil will be lifted, and we will be able to see our Lord. While everyone in paradise is busy enjoying the endless blessings bestowed upon them, Allah will appear and call out, "O people of paradise, peace be upon you." At that moment, all those immense blessings will fade from our minds. We will eagerly await the moment we can see Allah again. How often we will see Him will vary proportionally to which level of paradise we reside in. The natural beauty of paradise will, without a doubt, be far beyond anything we have observed in this world. We will see countless magnificent trees. Among them is one tree, distinct from all others, the tuba tree. Words fail to describe the size of this tree. If you were to ride a horse and gallop along its trunk, it would take you 100 years to go from one end to the other. The tuba tree is so immense that its branches reach every layer of paradise, delivering its fruits to everyone's home so all may benefit from its endless blessings. Another natural wonder is the river of Al-Kawthar, bestowed upon our prophet. Its water, whiter than milk and sweeter than honey, originates from beneath the throne of Allah and flows through all the layers of paradise. Its scent and taste are beyond anything we can currently imagine. Besides Al-Kawthar, paradise has rivers of unpolluted water, rivers of milk whose taste never changes, rivers of wine that bring joy to the drinkers, a wine that does not cause intoxication or cloud the mind, but is pure delight, and rivers of purified honey. According to a narration, whenever we wish, a gentle breeze will cause the leaves of the trees to produce such beautiful sounds that we have never heard anything so pleasurable in worldly life. Another interesting activity will be a weekly visit to a special marketplace there. A northerly wind will blow, enhancing our faces and clothes with beautiful fragrances, adding to our beauty and handsomeness. With each passing period, we will appear even more beautiful to our spouses. One of the most beautiful features of paradise is undoubtedly that we will be able to remember our worldly life and spend time, converse, and reunite with our loved ones, friends and family members who also earned paradise, for the sake of Allah's pleasure. The Quran hints at this reality for us. All these beauties are only a part of what has been conveyed to us about paradise. Listen, how magnificent do these blessings and beauties of paradise sound? How pleasing to the ear and the heart. We worked, strived, and became as our Creator wished, and by Allah's grace, earned the right to enter paradise. We are ready to experience that eternal life we always dreamed of. But let me tell you something. The most beautiful thing that makes paradise, paradise, is actually none of these things I described. Not the rivers of milk, honey, and wine, nor the endless other blessings. Do you know what it is? The main thing? Remember I mentioned the conversation we will have with Allah Azza wa Jal? Let's return to that moment. After we enter paradise, settle into our mansions, our homes on the banks of magnificent rivers. At that time, Allah the Almighty will appear and call out, hidden yet present, and ask, "Tell me, are you happy? Is your comfort complete?" Everyone will be extremely pleased, happy, and content. But despite all the beauties I described, a very important piece was still missing. Allah will answer, "I have not yet given you my greatest blessing. Now is the time for me to grant it." Everyone will listen with rapt attention, awaiting that answer from Allah. And Allah replies, "I grant you my pleasure. I am now pleased with you." Since Allah Azza wa Jal is now pleased with us all, now you are truly in paradise.